Hey, what's up guys? This is Yamiga back with a new Minecraft Dungeons video. So in only a couple days, on Monday the 26th of October, we can expect the seasonal trials for Halloween to pop up, as well as 20 new difficulties for Minecraft Dungeons. That's right guys, that means we will be able to play Apocalypse level 27. That's going to be our new cap, the new maximum level, which we will be able to play and get our hands on very awesome new power level items, of course. And guys, there has been so much fuzz about this little video fragment right here, which the official Minecraft account posted. Your power level 1595. Can we actually expect the power level to go this high? Well guys, I spent quite some time calculating the new algorithm which will be applied for the Apocalypse level 27 loot. So this one will explain you the recommended power level, difficulty, and also the gear and artifact power level. So guys, it would be very much appreciated if you can hit that like button for a second. We're gonna dive into it straight away, so let's get right to it. Alright, so a couple days ago on the official Minecraft Dungeons Twitter account, we were able to see a little video fragment of one of the new pieces of gear that we can expect to pop up on the seasonal trials for Halloween. And this one showcased the Hungry Horror Armor, and you can also see that it is on power level 160. So that means that we're getting many new power levels, but we currently only have 7 Apocalypse difficulties, and this already brings us to a power level of 113. If we use the algorithm, guys, it goes up very quickly if we add 20 more Apocalypse levels to it. So let's check out my calculation. So to understand the numbers in Minecraft Dungeons which determine our power level, the difficulty that we play on, and of course the HP that our armor gives, the damage that our weapons give, you have to dive a little bit deeper into the algorithm, into the patterns which you can find into the current values in the Minecraft Dungeons difficulty settings. To be able to check out the difficulty level as well, I just stripped away all my gear, so I'm currently power level 0. And when I open up the map once again, you will be able to see my difficulty is times 52.4. When we go to default right here, it says normal difficulty. And this is also your current power level, recommended power level 1. And gear and artifact power, which will drop, is 1 to 60. So every time when you go up, of course, the recommended power level goes up a little bit, as well as the difficulty and the gear and artifact power. And this brings us to a maximum currently on the Apocalypse level 7 of recommended power level 103, gear and artifact power, which drops, is 105 to 112. We can actually see 113 to drop right here as well, and this adds difficulty to 277 times 6. And I put all these values into a Google spreadsheet, guys. So here it is. At first it looks pretty basic, and in my opinion it is very easy to determine all the values right now. So we have our recommended power level on the first row. For default level 1 it is a recommended power level 1, for level 2 it's level 4, and Apocalypse, of course, we have a recommended power level of 103. And then of course you can tell that the gear and artifact power which drops on this level is 105 to 112. We also saw 113 drop right there, but that doesn't matter. Right now we're gonna look at the raw values, and this one might look a little bit basic, but guys, there is a lot more hidden in this sheet, so let's check it out right now. So there it is, guys, my detailed version of this Google spreadsheet with so much more information. All these values are currently present in the game. It took me a lot of time to get them out, so guys, it would be very much appreciated if you could hit that like button for a second. Alright, so let's check out these numbers for a second, because there is so much information into the sheet. So first off, when we go to the first difficulty level, guys, on the default difficulty, we have a recommended power level of 1. The difficulty is normal, or times 1, and then the gear and artifact power which can drop on this level, on this difficulty, is 1 to 60, with a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 60. And this also brings us to an average of 31 and a difference of 59, because obviously 60 minus 1 is 59. So when we increase this difficulty, guys, all these values will increase as well. And the cool thing is, all these numbers will grow in either a linear way or an exponential way, and this actually forms an algorithm or pattern which allow us to determine a little bit which we can expect to pop up at the Apocalypse level 27 as recommended power level, difficulty, and of course also the gear and artifact power. Of course, this is a speculation, so it is not going to be 100% accurate, but I think I got it pretty closely. So let's check it out right here. The recommended power level increases by 3 when we go to difficulty 1 to 2, then it increases to 6 from 4 to 10, another 6 to 6, and a 5 and a 6. So right here you can see some differences. So every time when there was an oddity, I made it with a gray background and of course an orange number. So you can see multiple oddities in this sheet. So on the gear artifact power level, you can also see a different increment value right here, which is 5 2 times. And then right here, you can see on the adventure difficulty that the increment value of the maximum artifact power level changes 1 time, as well as on the apocalypse level. So this also forms a little pattern. So every 7 levels, this has an increment value of 3 all the time, except for only 1 level. Now, for the difficulty, guys, this is a whole other story. This is starting to get seriously complicated, so if you want to skip it, feel free to do so, but I just wanted to point this out as well. So, when we look at the difficulty, on default level 1, of course, this is a normal difficulty, times 1%. Then, if we go to difficulty level 2, it increases the difficulty by 70% or goes times 1.7. Then for level 3, it goes times 2.7, which is an increase of 58, almost 59%. For level 4, it's 4.1 or 51.85%. But then for level 5, 6, and 7, this always increases by 34% pretty much. So 3 times in a row, the increment percentage is 34%, which pretty much forms an increment pattern of 34%. So of course, on top of the percentage, we have this pattern. So yeah, this is some next level stuff, but at the same time, very interesting, because on both the adventure and apocalypse, we see this happening all the time. So when we look at these numbers, guys, the default level 7 and the adventure level 1, these are always the same, so there won't be an increment percentage right here. But when we look at the level 2, 3, and 4, these all have an increment pattern of 28%. So every time the difficulty increases by 28% pretty much. And then for the 3 next levels, we have an increment pattern of 35%. And when you look at 28 to 35, this is also an increment of 25%. So on top of the increment percentage, we have an increment pattern, and then on top of that, we have an increase of 25% every 3 levels. So I know this is a lot of information, but I just wanted to point it out for a second. Right now, we're gonna look at the full sheet I made for the Apocalypse Plus. Alright, so here we have it, guys, all the data from the default, adventure, and apocalypse difficulty copy-pasted into Apocalypse Plus. So we have the exact same algorithms, and you can tell that there is something wrong with this sheet, because we've got some red numbers right here. So you can tell that the algorithm will not work all the way up to Apocalypse level 27, because when we look at the gear and artifact power, guys, which we have on Apocalypse level 7, which is currently the highest difficulty, we have a power level which we can find of level 105 to 112. The minimum is 105, the maximum is 112, but every time, as you can see, the difference gets smaller and smaller. So from 111 to 116, the difference is only 5, then only 2, and then it goes into negative. So that means a gear and artifact power, which we will be able to find, will be 123 to 122. So yeah, you can tell that this is broken. It will not work. So in order to fix this, we have to change the increment values a little bit. So the maximum artifact power which will drop will also increase a little bit higher. And that, my friends, pretty much brings us to this new sheet. So if we look at the Apocalypse level 1 to 7, I kept all these values the same. So nothing has changed. And I think this is also exactly the plan of the Minecraft Dungeons team. They just want to preserve the current difficulty levels, the current gear and artifact power drops, but all they want to do is add up 20 new Apocalypse difficulty levels. And of course, in order to do that, they have to make some minor changes to their current algorithm. So what I did right here is very speculative, but I think it can be super accurate, is change the increment value from 3 to 6. And of course, every 7 levels, it changes from 3 to 2. So right here, every 7 levels, it changes from 6 to 5. And this actually makes up for a very nice linear growth on all these values, guys. Right now, it looks pretty accurate. So if we look at the recommended power level, this increases by 6 every level, and once it increases by 5 every 7 levels. So that is a very nice pattern that we can see. Then for the difficulty, guys, we currently don't have enough information to make a very accurate calculation for this. So it is pretty much speculative, but it can work. It might actually be a little bit accurate as well. So we have these increment patterns. Every 3 levels, it increases by 25%. So from 28 to 35 to 44 to 55 to 68, etc., etc. So you can tell on Apocalypse level 27, we will have a very high difficulty. But that also means that our item HP, for example, on your armor, the damage on your weapons will become very high as well. So it increases exponentially big time. So that is very awesome to see. And then, of course, the values which every single one of you have been waiting for, the minimum and maximum gear and artifact power levels, which you can expect to drop on Apocalypse level 27. When we look at the increment value of the minimum gear artifact power level, this is always 6, 1 time 5 every 7 levels. Goes all the way to Apocalypse 27, and then for the maximum we had to make some alterations. So first it was always 3, except for once it was 2, and right now it is always 6 and 1 times 5, and this makes up for a very linear growth, which means if we go all the way to Apocalypse plus difficulty level 27, guys, we get our hands on a recommended power level of 220. And then of course the gear and artifacts that will drop will have a minimum power level of 222 and a maximum of 231. So there you have it, guys. My thoughts of what we can expect to drop as new maximum power level on the Apocalypse Plus level 27. A recommended power level of 220 for the maximum difficulty level, and also a minimum of 221 and a maximum of 232 power level for the gear and artifacts. But then again, guys, they can also change the entire algorithm, so this calculation might be completely off and we will get even better or worse values. But at least I tried, right? And then of course we also have the daily trials. The calculations for that are a little bit different. The algorithm is different for that, but we can definitely expect it to be even higher. So guys, thank you so much for watching. It would be very much appreciated if you could just hit that like button for a second, because it actually took me a very long time to complete this video. It took me many days, but I think it is definitely worth it to guess what the new maximum power level will be for Apocalypse Plus level 27. If you enjoy my content, you are very welcome to subscribe. It is entirely free and you can expect so much more Minecraft and Minecraft Dungeons videos to pop up very soon. If you are interested in talking about this new Apocalypse Plus difficulty level, you are always welcome to join the Discord. Of course, we also talk about other things like trading your gear, and I think with the cross-platform, it will be the perfect place for you to visit. We almost have 1,000 members right there. The members are growing every day, so it would be very awesome to have you right there. Right now though, it is 4 AM out. I'll see you guys very soon once again. I wish you a very awesome day. Take care.